NFL record for the worst completion percentage.
This is a game you need to win.
This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins.
Hello and welcome back to episode 61 of I75Live. We are on another victory Monday for me and Dylan.
We're on a winning streak with Cut Bet. We're on a winning streak with our teams.
How are you doing with fantasy though, Dylan?
It feels good.
You know, outside of the one league where, we're just not even going to talk about how I lost last night.
Yeah, I thought you were ready to quit fantasy.
I fought back to 500 in a keeper league, and I got a really good team. Okay. So
I've got
at least you're doing good on Cut Bet.
It's been a good couple weeks. Like
you did miss the Utah though. You picked Utah to win. You blew that one.
No, we went with the Mormons.
No, I went with the Mormons.
No, you said Utah. I played back the tape. I played it back. Bullshit.
Go look at the graphic.
And you, Dylan, you won because you copped out and said the Mormons. They're all Mormons.
Graphic on Instagram. I have the Mormons as
the Mormons.
Okay, but you picked Utah.
Well,
on
then
the video.
Who else did we lose on?
I picked the Mormons.
I got the Texans wrong. The Texans are.
I have receipts.
But no, yes. This is a great week for my team. A great week for Dylan's team. We've got some concerns of stuff that it's stuff to build on that I think we both can agree on to our teams. There's I think a lot. I've got a little bit of a take too with the Indianapolis Colts that I don't think some people will like, but it's the truth and the reality when you really look at it. And I can even say the same about my team, but I have my arguments. So we'll get into that. But before we do that, I will let Dylan take away our cut bet.
Sure. Well, before that, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, drop some comments, follow the social media pages, and subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate the support. But on top of that, yes, this episode is sponsored by CutBet. It's a peer-to-peer social betting platform that allows its users to wager directly with other users on any publicly verifiable result in sports, entertainment, politics, and more. Sign up today using code i75Live and stay tuned later in the show. We got a different kind of a cut bet this week. I was looking through and I didn't necessarily like any of the spreads because a lot of them were close. Mm-hmm. And, we're filming on Tuesday this week, so a lot of them haven't really shifted. But, yeah, we went with a point total this week.
And going for 4 in a row. We've been pretty hot on the Chiefs shutout
6 in a row.
And we picked them to just what was it? It was 13.5 for the last week.
It was like 12.5.
And they won like 30-0.
Easy money.
Yeah, so that was good. Before we get into football though, because we got a lot to talk about football, I want to touch a little bit on the World Series. That obviously just got set. You got the infamous Dodgers against the Blue Jays. Awesome. I will say though, so the two players that I think are the key focus is Shohei and Vlad Guerrero Jr. Vlad Guerrero, just to kind of read his stats of what he's done in the postseason this year, he's got ridiculous. 35 at-bats. He's batting a .457 average, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, and an OPS of almost 1,500. This is exactly what you want your star players to do in the postseason. This is what the Yankees want Aaron Judge to do. Yeah. This is why you pay these guys. So I think it's really great. I think Vlad's also he's a funny kind of, he plays into the crowd and he plays into the fans. And he's been around baseball a long, long time, as in his dad could probably attest. His dad played. The other kind of on the flip side of the Dodgers, I said this to either Jake or Dad the other day. Shohei was not playing very good at all.
No.
At all.
He was having an Aaron Judge
I want to say his batting average was in the hundreds.
It was like 190
in the other series. And then you have his game where he goes 10 strikeouts, 3 home runs, and everyone forgets about it.
That's historic.
That's historic. And I'm not taking away anything from it. But it's just, if we're going to give the Aaron Judges and some of these other stars kind of that treatment of, well, you didn't do anything in the postseason. You didn't. And then you were able to send your team to the World Series throwing 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs in one game. Woo! And I also heard someone say he's the unicorn of the MLB, and I completely agree with that.
He's the unicorn of sports.
That too, where it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, okay, who's the best player in the MLB this year?
Doesn't matter.
That's not Shohei.
Yeah, yep.
Like, besides Shohei, who was the second best?
Yep.
And you could say the second best this year was Cal Raleigh with 65 home runs. I think that was that was a National League record for the most home runs in regular season, postseason ever.
That's crazy.
So that's really cool for him. A catcher. I also saw switch hitting between the spring training and all the games. He played over 200 games this year as a catcher, hitting that many home runs. So that was really impressive to him. And he took it very hard. You can kind of his reaction of not being able to make it to where it almost feels like this season was a failure to him, even with all the individual success he had. But no, hell of a season from him. I mean, 65 home runs, switch hitting catcher who played over 200 games. Yes, he did. But no, I think the Dodgers, like I said last week when one of your questions you asked, I want the Dodgers to win because I want the questions to start being asked and even his comments after the game of when they won, baseball. Let's ruin, like, I mean, I see both sides of it. And I know I don't want to get too deep into it. I see hey, you should have owners that want to spend money on your team. It's not the Dodgers' fault that they want to spend money on their team to be good.
At the end of the day, they're not the villains here.
No, of course they aren't.
All of the MLB owners that let this happen and do not keep bidding competitive in free agency and stuff like that, and forking out like Detroit. It came out before the year that they offered Tariq Skubal like a 4-year, $190 million deal, and he was like, and he's going to be making like $700 million almost. That's a joke. And he's going to go to the Dodgers. Yeah. Like, they're going to be pursuing him.
And there's I don't know his name. Jake might know what I'm talking about. That other Japan player who is now eligible to come over to play in the MLB.
Yeah. You're talking about the shortstop or the second baseman?
I can't remember, but he's the big name over there. And everyone's like, I wonder where he's going to go.
Dodgers.
Everyone knows where he's
going to go.
Listen,
it's a very cultural city. But listen, I want to go back and talk about Seattle just for a minute because, I was born in Seattle. I have a lot of relatives in Seattle. They're all Mariners fans. Oof. Went to a couple Mariners games when I was really, really small. But you know what comes with when you're a great team? Like, look at the Braves. Look at how many times we won and then the heartache of losing. This was what the Mariners are going to have to deal with when you're good enough to almost get there and you have to go through this hardship. Look how many years we went through hardship with the Braves. Multiple times. We didn't get to that many series we had good during that run.
Well, the Mariners haven't been able to see anything like this since 2001. So I think regardless of the fans, obviously you're disappointed that you didn't make it. This is the first time you're getting to experience it for half of your life, pretty much the first time in your life for a lot of the younger fans. So, still a good season. And, more on, how are they feeling?
They're not. I've seen a bunch on Facebook. They're not happy. They're blaming the officials for a couple games ago. But literally,
don't worry, ABS.
But think about this though: the Dodgers could be going for a three-peat. If you remember, they had the driver's seat 2 years ago when they lost out in that first round, like we did.
Yeah.
And so they could very well be going for three in a row.
Well, to wrap up the conversation, look, I'm not saying that the Dodgers are the problem. And I think the Dodgers are doing what teams should do is spend money. But if you're going to sit here and say the Dodgers aren't bending the rules when it comes to paying people, they found a loophole and they're taking
the only
advantage
team,
of it.
Apparently, that cares to take advantage of it.
Yes. So I'm not saying that they're the problem for wanting to buy and spend money on players. That's what you're supposed to do.
More power to them.
In the structure that the MLB is, that's what they are encouraging you to do. And they found a loophole. They've been able to kind of finagle and bend rules to get all these pitchers.
What if we only pay them half their salary while they're playing?
And pay them the rest of their salary 30 years from now. So, but no, Shohei, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a great pitching matchup. And I hope that the Blue Jays can kind of keep up with
Last thing I'll say is that I do think out of the teams left, I think the Blue Jays had the best chance to beat the Dodgers. They have spent, I think, the second amount of money next to the Mets and the Phillies. They're close. They've got a loaded roster as well. Bo Bichette will be coming back from injury, supposedly. He was on a tear before he got hurt. It's going to be a good series, but at the end, I really don't know if it matters.
In a 7-game series, I think the best team with all the pitching they have, I think the Dodgers will end up taking it.
Probably.
Enough about baseball. Let's get right into NFL. We'll go into week 7, wrap up week 7, and then we'll get into week 8. First game, this one was...
Elite Joe Flacco is back.
Well, Elite, I think the joke of us saying no matter who you bring in, whether it was Jameis, whether it was someone, just throw the ball.
Just as long as he can throw the ball.
To Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, and that's exactly what he did. Jamar Chase set... He had 16 catches,
23 targets,
like 16 broke the record, I think, for most catches in I think Bengals history. I don't know about
Bengals
NFL.
history. The actual record is like 21. Is Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, Dylan. Sorry, buddy. I really gave you shit for that.
You did.
I was wrong.
You did call,
Bangies,
but no,
baby.
I think, and this is
that
more,
Thursday night game, though. You just never know.
It
Home
seems
team.
like always take the home team.
Home teams on Thursday night, you can give them the benefit of the doubt.
I agree.
For the most part.
I'm a little more worried about the Steelers, though, in this one.
It's the same old Steelers, dude.
It is. And, I think Rodgers did great of marching them down the field and scoring that last touchdown and then getting tackled by his old lineman. That was funny. And then them just not
was
being
so
able,
mad
he
about
was
that.
It was
He
really
was
funny.
You can't be tackling.
Could
a
you
4-year-old
imagine if he
like
got
that.
hurt?
Yeah, that would have been funny.
It looked like he
Not
almost
funny,
did.
but it would have been like wow, I can't believe
wow.
that just happened.
Yeah.
No, I think the Bengals though they still can't play defense, but to what everyone I think has thought, you just need one quarterback to come in here and throw the ball to these wide receivers you paid millions of dollars to. But the Steelers though, to me, it was the same old. You lost a game that you can't lose.
Well, it's their defense, dude. And I have this written down. It's like we've seen it year after year after year after year. It's like they start off great, and then it's just they never make any adjustments. And so it's like I've got to pin it on Mike Tomlin. And it was like, I'm sure we remember. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. Julian Edelman was on a podcast saying every time we played the Patriots, it never changed. Like we knew exactly what they were going to do. They're going to continue to cover the flats with linebackers, and we're just going to eat them alive in the slot. And then fast forward to Thursday, or rewind to Thursday, Jamar Chase said the exact same thing almost. He said, we knew exactly what they were going to do. We knew what the game plan was.
Well, and they tried to do man, and then they couldn't stop man, and then they went to zone, and that was getting picked apart. And then, so it was just a mess.
They don't change their personnel ever. It's like, seriously, they will continue to use linebackers to cover slot receivers. And it's just, I don't get it. Like,
well,
I've got to assume Mike Tomlin has seen some of these comments, or like he's watching film and
and too, you've kind of been gifted this division on a silver platter.
You really have, and you can't put it away.
And if you end up kind of blowing this of losing games like this to Joe Flacco, just got traded to a new team.
Yep.
It's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
Next
one, I think the Eagles and the Vikings. Look, I said this when it was going down.
Jalen Hurts.
Where the Jalen Hurts can't pass the ball this week.
They're hibernating. They're waiting for the next bad
Exactly. So just everyone stop. Jalen Hurts is a good NFL quarterback.
He's a great quarterback.
Yes, he has good receivers. Yes, he has Devontae Smith. Yes, he has, Goddard and Barkley. But just stop. Just please stop. Of just waiting for. Oh well, see, he can't pass the deep ball. Well, yeah, he had two really good deep balls that were on the money for touchdowns. One was on the run to AJ Brown on the sideline, and one was a beautiful ball to Devontae Smith.
Yep.
And they against I think a very good defense too. I know the Vikings offense has really struggled, and we kind of have it written down of. Regretting not signing Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones.
They had both of them in their QB room last year, and neither of them get a deal. It's seriously, especially with how Daniel Jones has looked, because they could have signed him to another 1-year deal. I'm pretty sure the Colts did. And it's just bewildering to me. And same thing with, I know Sam Darnold, that's fine, because I think the story came out that they offered him like a 1-year contract. And they just weren't ready to commit long term because they have JJ. But Daniel Jones is inexcusable.
But they haven't been willing to commit to Kirk Cousins. They weren't willing.
That's
and I know
true.
that kind of worked out because he ended up.
That's true.
I understand that. But even Sam Darnold, winning 14 games in the National Football League, you can't do that. And now Daniel Jones is kind of doing what he's doing.
I saw something online of a guy talking about how this is a Kevin O'Connell heat check. He thought that he was hot shit again, which he is. He's a great play caller, but he thought that, I could do this with any quarterback. I'm going to go get Carson Wentz and it'll be just the same. No. Sometimes there are quarterbacks that are bad enough to. And I don't think Carson
Wentz has played just terrible.
No.
But it's not to the level of I think what he could have had for that reason of
his
just
turnovers on Sunday, I think, are the reason they lost for the most part. They lose by 6. I think he had 1 or 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
against the best teams, you're like, that's going to lose you the game every time.
Especially the Eagles.
On the other side, though, do you think Saquon's dealing with the Madden curse? I think so.
I think a little bit. You know, I
Pretty
also
bad,
think,
dude.
I think he's maybe not regretting, but it also kind of just proves to why he should have gone for the record last year instead of kind of sitting out. And I know they won the Super Bowl and it made it all worth it, and he didn't get hurt. And what if he would have got hurt trying to go for a record and then they didn't have him in the playoffs? Chances are you don't win against the Rams without Saquon in the playoffs. So all of that can be said. But it just really goes to show of how special of a season he had last year and how it's a little unfortunate that he didn't go for the record. I think their O-line running the ball wise, run blocking wise, has really taken a step back from last year, which we're obviously seeing that. Yeah. And I do think maybe a little bit of the Madden curse, I know he kind of got hurt with a shoulder, so I hope he's fine for my fantasy team. That would be nice. I think they'll be fine, and but he was really close though to breaking a couple big ones, especially against the Vikings, which is a good defense.
So I don't think he cares about that now as he's playing, but that might be something in 20 years you look back on and you might care about. Yeah. When you're maybe sitting in the Hall of Fame or just what could have come with that record.
Yeah, of the opportunity.
It wasn't even close. Like he had it. Yeah. He had it.
Yeah, it's not like he needed 250 yards the last game.
It was going to happen. All he had to do was play that game.
Yep.
I hear you.
Oof. On to Dawson's team, though.
Yeah, so look, I think this
Drake
was...
May.
So it started off
beating Tom Brady records.
He is.
Even the announcers on TV were like, "What?
So imagine if Brady was calling that game.
Yeah, that would have been cool. It started off really slow, though. It started off as in, there's no way
it was
we're
like
going to lose.
10-10, 13-10.
Like, are we seriously going to lose to the Titans who just fired their coach? That's what because I brought that up. Of the last team that happened to was the Falcons and the Saints last year when the Saints beat the Falcons after they fired their coach. And I was like, God, no, come on, don't do this. And then
not like this.
So what really changed the game is that 2-minute drive at the before halftime where Drake May had that really long touchdown to Booty.
Yep.
That was okay. We're not going to lose this. We're not going to let this really battered down bad team turn this into a game going into halftime thinking they can win.
Yep.
After that happened, we came out and we dominated the rest of the game. Stevenson has played good. It just when he doesn't fumble the ball, he's a very good running back.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think you've just gotten too many. I mean, Henderson
2 touches.
Henderson had 2 touches the whole game. And they asked about it after the game and they said, that's Vrabel basically said, well, that's just kind of how the game went. And that's how the game played out. And it's just, I don't fully believe that because that's how every game has gone.
Yeah.
To go on top of you, though, he has broken Tom Brady's completion percentage record. 91% completion. I think Tom Brady's was like 89 somewhere in there. And it was over 20 plus attempts.
Yep.
So it's not like it was like, 15 attempts.
He was like 21 of 23.
Yeah, he played very good. He's breaking records. He's doing stuff that no other quarterbacks have done, of his name being on the list, end of list.
Oh.
So it's really exciting to see. And some of the passes he's making, like his one that he had on the sideline to Mac Hollins between the safety and the corner who thought he was going to pick it off. And then all of a sudden it was like, and then it was a perfect pass.
Floats it over.
I mean, you don't get lucky doing that type of stuff.
Nope.
You just don't. I think for everyone, we've watched enough football, enough quarterbacks, enough passes to kind of know that you just don't go out there and do that. So it's very, very exciting to see my team. And, this was a game we needed to come in and we needed to handle it, especially after the last couple games we've had. 3 road games in a row to finish this out. Now we go back to home.
Then you get the Browns next week, too.
And Browns are a huge test because say what you want about their offense. They have a very good defense, very good pass rush. I think their secondary is good, and I think their linebackers are good.
Yep.
So regardless of what their offense is, of who's quarterback, I get all that. Their defense is very, very good. They're in the top half of the league every single year. It will be a nice, and I'm happy we're at home.
Yep.
It will be a great test for us after our 3-game, road win streak. That's never happened too. In the Brady Belichick era, we never won 3 road games in a row.
That's crazy.
We won 3 road games in a row this year.
That's pretty impressive.
Enough about my team. It makes me very happy though.
Hell yeah. Pats are back. Pats are finally back. You know who else is back?
The Bears. The Bears.
The Bears are back. Bears are back. And so,
you kidding me?
Unfortunately, Caleb did not have a great game, but it makes me very happy to see that, honestly, we still won by 2 scores, even with that. And Caleb, like I said, did not play a perfect game. There's still things he needs to work on. I think second and third quarter continue to be issues for him, but the first and fourth, he's been putting it together. But I do think this is probably his worst performance as a passer this year.
I thought you ran the ball very well too.
You got the W though. At the end of the day, you got the win 4 in a row.
It is.
That was
There's
fine.
always a silver lining to
and
it.
I look back and it's like Jared Goff, when he was first starting in Ben Johnson's offense, I think both their 7th start, right? This is week 6th start, because they had a bye. Jared Goff had like 2 interceptions and he was like 50% completion. So I'm not going to look too much into it. I am going to look into how the run game after the bye week has literally just transformed. Like, we are now at the top. We were, I think, 17th in rush yards per game, and now after 2 weeks, we're 7th.
Yeah.
Like, that is ridiculous.
And that's what I told you. You have to be able to run the ball.
It looks so good.
It does.
I think all the blocking schemes I'm watching, and like I'm hearing the announcers go, wow, like look at all the double teams that are moving into the second level immediately after. It's just beautiful. And the Bears defense is a Bears defense that I was expecting going into the season, and it's one that I'm used to seeing. And I'm so glad it's back, because 4 straight games of 3 or more takeaways on defense, and they're on a 4-game winning streak as well.
And I don't think people realize like how rare that is.
They have 15 takeaways in 4 games.
Yeah, like that's elite. Like that's really good.
Yeah, that doesn't
especially
that
for
doesn't
the
happen that
NFL.
many
And they
weeks in a
still
row.
don't have their best player, Jalen Johnson, who will be back in December. I think the cornerback room is really battered, but the fact that they're doing this, and honestly, they don't have one great pass rusher. Like, it's a platoon of guys. The defense is flying to the ball, and this was a Dennis Allen revenge game as well. But I'm very excited. We have the Ravens next week.
Is Lamar playing?
So Lamar was out of practice yesterday, and I'm going to be checking to see if he's practicing today. But we'll see. We are, I think, 7-point underdogs, which, I mean, fine.
So they're assuming
that
Lamar's
we're
probably
underdogs.
going to play.
They probably are, but I like that we're underdogs. I think, don't give us the respect. I want them to go out and earn it. And if we win in Baltimore this week with Lamar healthy, I'm going to start getting a little bit more delusional. Just saying.
And I
Playoffs,
honestly
baby.
don't blame you.
Bears are back.
So that's another conversation that we'll
division
talk.
in football.
I said it to you.
Unfortunately.
You look at the Rams division. You look at your guys' division. There's going to be a good football team that is left out of the playoffs this year.
I have a bad feeling it's going to be the Bears.
It's going to come down to the last game of the year. And what you guys played the Lions last game of the year too, right?
Yep, in Chicago. Thank God.
There's going to be a really good, whether that's Seattle, whether that's the 49ers, whether that's the Rams, whether that's the Packers, Lions, or
just so many.
Who's the other team?
Cardinals. You've got Seahawks.
There's going to be a
Cowboys aren't terrible. They just got a bad defense.
their offense is good. Their
Commanders aren't looking great.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of competitiveness.
There's a lot of talent.
I mean, there's a ton of competitiveness in the NFC. It's loaded.
There's going to be a couple really good teams that get left out, unfortunately. Next one. So the Colts and the Chargers. The Colts do their thing. Everyone's best record in football. Jonathan Taylor has 11 touchdowns already, cashed his season bet. I think his season touchdown bet was 10.5. He's at 11. So kudos to you. He's probably going to win the Triple Crown as long as he stays healthy.
That's crazy.
My thing with the Colts, I'm just going to read off a little bit of their schedule that they've had.
Yeah. This was the first week where, because I have seen that too, and outside of the Broncos, they haven't played the best teams at all. But the Chargers were a good football team.
And the reason
they manhandled the Chargers.
The reason I bring this up is because I heard Cam Newton talking on ESPN about how we're not talking about the Colts enough, but we're talking about the Patriots, and the Patriots haven't played anyone, and they just beat the Titans, but the Colts. So the Colts have played the Titans also.
Yeah.
They beat the crap out of them. Looked pretty good. Same kind of way. I'd say they handled the game. The Patriots and the Colts handled the Titans about the same way. But if you look, the one good team that the Colts have played in Matthew Stafford and the Rams, they lost.
That Broncos too.
But they should have lost the Broncos.
They should have.
They won on that field goal.
Yeah.
So it was like a penalty. They got a retry. All that. So, but really the one game they lost to the kind of the only two teams that they have played that are pretty good. They should have lost to. And the Rams,
they were up on the Rams too. The Rams came back.
Daniel Jones had 2 interceptions in that game.
That's true.
So, and then you beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins are terrible. They beat the Titans.
We're not terrible.
You beat the Raiders. You beat the Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett. And then you beat the Chargers with the Chargers they have like 4 offensive tackles on injured reserve. That's true. They have so I look at it and I go, yes, it's great. It looks a little bit fool's gold to me of the Colts being number 1. And then you're going to say, well, what about the Patriots? Well, I think the Patriots, we beat MVP Josh Allen on Sunday night in his house.
Yeah.
So I think enough said there of these teams, when it comes to the teams they're supposed to beat, as in they both have played the Titans, they both handled the Titans business, but in my personal opinion, the Patriots have a better win on for who they've played, because I know you can only play who they give you, and you can't pick and choose. I know the Colts also play the Chiefs, and that will be that's like their only game though. They play the Chiefs, and then that's about it.
So I'm looking at their schedule right now. They play the Titans next week again, like for the second time. Then they play the Steelers, then the Falcons in Germany, and then the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and then Texans. Fine. Jaguars twice still, which Jaguars aren't a bad team. They play the Seahawks and the 49ers. So there's time for them to show us.
There is. And so the way I view it is, and I also, Daniel Jones isn't even in the top 5 right now for MVP voting.
That's crazy to me.
It is, but Vegas knows, and Vegas is always right. So what is that telling you? That they don't think that the Colts deserve to be the best team in the AFC right now. That's what it's telling me. I
do think it'll end up being the Chiefs.
So guys,
I do too. I don't think.
We have a call coming in live right now. I believe AJ wants me to hold his beer. He has something to say about your comments on his Colts.
No, I give all the credit to the Colts. They are beating who they are being put up against. But when you really dig into it and you really look at it,
putting up a lot of points.
The 1 playoff team, the 2 playoff teams that you have played this year, you lost to one and you should have lost to the other. So it's a little fool's gold to me, a little bit. And hey, you play the Chiefs, you play the 49ers are looking good. You play the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks played not the best last night, but they do have a good team. I just don't fully trust the Colts yet. I think the Kansas City game will really be a good showing of how their season is going to.
Hopefully both teams are healthy. I know Charvarius Ward is on injured reserve right now, and so he got put on injured reserve before the Cardinals game. So he will be back healthy for the Chiefs game. They'll have their full secondary, I think. So both teams should be healthy. But on to a team that has probably been a part of both games of the year and lost both of them in horrific fashion. The New York Giants playing the Broncos. I don't know if you guys read into like the kind of cool nature of this game. And, obviously it was Demaryius Thomas's memorial.
You mean the numerology of it?
Yeah, the numerology of it. And I know it was also like their 10-year anniversary of the Broncos 2015 team. So they made, I think Peyton Manning already had a statue. They gave Demaryius Thomas one right next to him. But yeah, they went into the fourth quarter down. I think it was 19-0.
Yeah.
And then they score 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think 33. The second most points, or there was only one other team that scored more points in the fourth quarter to win the game than them.
Yep. And it's ridiculous. I know Demaryius Thomas passed away when he was 33, and then their final drive had 33 seconds left the second they got the ball. So that was really cool. But I mean, the Giants, dude.
But wait a minute though, before you get off the numerology, Dylan. So you realize I was telling Dawson when he told me about this, I was like, wait a minute,
probably even more.
I said, remember there was another game like that. It was the Tim Tebow 316 game. Where all the 316s in that game, and then Dawson's like,
guess who we threw?
So in overtime, first play in overtime, Tim Tebow threw an 80-yard bomb.
That's right.
To Demaryius Thomas.
So crazy that those two games are linked.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
And also to start the comeback, scored a touchdown, went for 8, and then next possession scored a touchdown, went for 88.
Yes,
Thomas.
88. That's right.
There's a lot of. I know it's us looking into it, trying to find similarities, but the fact that there's so many,
it's pretty cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool.
The Broncos are.
But yeah, no, this game, I think Jackson Dart was able to.
He might be rookie of the year, actually.
Yeah, him and Igbuka, I think, are battling for it. It was a utter meltdown on the letting them get into the field goal range to even kick it. I don't know what they were doing. But Jackson Dart did look good. He had a really bad interception, though, that kind of started the whole comeback. And he came out and took full accountability, full blame for it. So that's what you want. But I think they'll be fine. It sucks and it hurts. Ultimately, if they won that game, it really wasn't going to do much. At this point, it's just kind of I think, have a good foundation. Get the best quality pick you can get and really start building a team. I don't think you're going to fire your coach.
We'll see.
Well, I don't think they will. You never know, though, in the NFL. They'll be fine. It sucks, and I know after the game they were like, "Yeah, that one really, really hurts."
Yeah,
and I'm sure it does. You let 33 points up in the fourth quarter. That's no bueno. But they'll be fine.
Bad.
They'll be fine.
Onto our, one of the Monday night games was a little interesting, I guess you could say.
Which part? The part where one of their best receivers never even got a point?
Mike Evans, man. Broken collarbone. That sucks. So that officially puts an end to Mike Evans' streak of 1,000-yard seasons. I think it was, 11
Is it
straight.
official?
He was tied with Jerry Rice.
Couldn't he get like 200 yards in the last 4 games?
I think he's out for the year. That broken collarbone, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's
gone.
That sucks.
Which I think he'll probably come back next year, I'm sure. Maybe, I don't think he... Well, we may have seen the end of Mike Evans.
The last year of his contract, I think we might have seen the last of,
Definitely sucks. Then the Lions are great.
They're great. So the Lions are kind of the same thing to me, to where they won that game. It just doesn't feel the same as it did last year. There was just even like when they had the ball and with there was 4 minutes left, they had 3 timeouts and the Buccaneers are trying to get the ball back and they just ran the ball. And it was like, what? Last year you guys are going for the win, you guys are going for the touchdown, you're not playing this conservative. And to me, there's that killer instinct that they had the past couple years that I think made them so likable. They're just, in my opinion, missing it when I watch them. That is what I see when I don't see that, of that Ben Johnson. No, we're going for the win. We're going for the touchdown. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to live with it.
Yeah.
I want to see that because you have the players and you have the talent to do so. It's just letting them do so.
Yep.
So that's the problem that I see with them. But Jahmyr Gibbs is so good. I think him and Bijan, and I said it to you at the beginning of the year that I thought Gibbs was going to be the Saquon of last year.
Well, I genuinely think that this is I know the past 2 years, really, running backs have been trying to advocate for larger contracts. We now have it's getting to the point where you cannot list a top 10 running backs without argument. You've got what's his name? Jonathan Taylor. You've got McCaffrey. You've got Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Gibbs, Bijan. There are Derrick Henry still. Kyron Williams.
Saquon.
Every time I think Saquon, it's my God. And they are becoming the focal point of offenses again because we've seen the point totals and scoring go down consistently over the rest of the year, and passing yards have gone down. And it's because a lot of NFL defenses are now playing shells and, cover twos and really just taking away the deep ball and making you, pass underneath. And so teams, to counteract that, are running a ton. And you've seen the Bears. They're trying to open up the pass game right now by making teams worry about the run. And it is just, when you have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs that is just gashing you for 30 yards at a time. And Montgomery barely did anything. Yeah. And that's scary.
You give him space, though. When Gibbs gets open space.
Oh, you saw that. As soon as he found that lane and he hit that gear, there was no one catching him.
I think he hit 23 miles per hour. Yeah. Almost.
22, I think they said fastest on a field in maybe forever.
It's 5 years, I think.
Gibbs is special. But that's my one thing with the Lions is it feels like they don't, the past couple years, they've had that just killer instinct. They didn't give a crap. They're going to score as many points as they possibly can until the clock hits 0. And it just seems like they just didn't have that last night or this year, really, of all the games that I've watched them.
Yeah.
So I think only time will tell.
Maybe that's the maturing of Dan Campbell.
Maybe, but at the same time,
I mean, there was no reason to. I guess he had a lot of faith.
Like, why
in his
risk
defense.
it if you don't have to?
They were just pounding on the Buccaneers all day on defense, and it was maybe it was like I would rather leave this game with a victory than winning by like 30 points, like we'd like to. So because they took their field goals for a while, like they were, or at least attempting. I know Bates missed like 1 or 2, but yeah, I think you might bring up a good point that Dan Campbell might just be,
maybe
after how I know they got blown out last year, but 2 years ago with the 49ers not taking your field goal, I think enough instances has happened where it's like Dan Campbell's starting to level it out.
Maybe.
I mean, he's a great coach, so if that's his one thing, yeah.
To get into this is my favorite subject.
Oh, here we go.
Coming
On a fourth and goal.
Fourth and long.
4th down and 20. 4th and 20.
A lot of
Not
stuff
the way you want to
happens
try to
in the
extend
world
it.
of sports. What do you got?
Oh, what a week. What a week that we have. So many crazy things happening. So we got to talk about my Montana Grizzly football team. So this week, okay, they're undefeated. They're 7-0. They're number 4 in the country.
Oh my God.
They're playing Sac State Hornets this week on ESPN2, so it's nationally televised. The president of the school said on national TV that we are the Montana Pandas. And in fact, I don't just want you to hear me say that. Go ahead and take a listen to this.
Pandas?
Looking forward to playing the Montana Pandas. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Look at you.
Montana Grizzlies. I think that's their name, right?
Yeah.
So they're certainly
Now you get a rebuttal
great
from our
team.
coach.
But they haven't played nobody this season.
1-8.
That's not a question for the players.
Okay, Coach, can I talk to you about that? Calling you the Montana Pandas, all that good stuff on national TV?
Yeah, we saw it. The guy's kind of a clown, right?
So I don't know if you know this.
Who was
but
that said that?
so
I know,
that-
obviously that was y'all, but
so that
who
was
said
the president
Montana
of the
Pandas?
university, which I can't even believe a president of the university talks like that. But then Bobby
dude.
Houck. So Bobby Houck, I
They're
don't know
going to
if you
get
remember.
blown out by 40.
In his first stint at Montana, he went on to coach UNLV, and he famously got in trouble because he kind of flipped off the fans of the other team. It was on TV. It was a big deal. He got fired, and now he's back and he's doing a hell of a job at Montana. But I mean, come on, don't disrespect a team like that. We are going to kick their ass this weekend. I cannot wait. I hope we put up freaking 50
play
on
Montana? Because Kennesaw State is like first in their conference right now. Kennesaw State is
I'll tell you
powerhouse right now.
Yeah, but I think, they, now that they moved up, if Montana played them.
KSU's FCS.
KSU did beat Montana State a few years back, but I don't know. Montana would kick their ass.
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're CUSA? Okay, never mind.
No,
Okay.
I think this is what makes sports great. I mean, you got the Montana Pandas from the Montana Grizzly
What
Bears.
was he like? Why the Pandas? Like, does that
I
have
don't
any
even know, but the
significance?
best
Like,
part-
how is that a dig?
The best part, though, is the trolling going online. Like, Montana's posting all these
Pandas.
videos and pictures of, like, them with their panda hat. Oh, it's so funny. They're
See, I
totally
love
trolling.
it. I think it's great.
Oh, it's great.
And
It's
I
awesome.
hope. I mean, I don't think they're very.
Montana's
Montana's
gonna win
very.
by
I mean,
good in
Josh, you
40.
looked at their record.
Yeah.
Like, they have no room to talk. Like,
I mean, to be fair, they've played this. They both have played with the same team. Montana beat them, I think, like 35-9, and the San Jose team lost to them like 35-20.
Yeah, Sac State. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think it's
let's bring it back to the state of Georgia. Can you believe that Hillgrove High School has the most active NFL players on 53-man rosters
Who went
than
to-
any other Georgia high school alumni right now?
I know TJ Yeldon went to Hillgrove, but that's the only one that rings a bell. Who else is it?
7. Well, right now you got Bradley Chubb, the
Bradley
Dolphins,
Chubb.
Evan Ingram,
Is Okonkwo?
Jalen McCullough. Yeah,
Jalen
Miles
McCollum.
Murphy, right? Jalen Royals, Ruben Lowry. So there's 7 active guys right now.
Interesting.
Anyway, so North Gwinnett has 6. And then from there, it's a big drop off. So, of course, we know that one guy in the Lions, Odas, right? We
Jameer
remember
Gibbs went to
Gibbs
Dalton.
up in Dalton. That's right.
Dalton
Fast
High
as
School.
lightning on the field.
Yeah, I mean Georgia is a.
It's a top 5 football state.
I think one. I'd like for real.
It's close.
I think it's
Texas,
California, Texas, and Georgia.
Florida.
So I think it's
Florida's a big one
100.
too.
Ohio as well.
It's like 128 players right now on 53-man rosters played in Georgia.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
It's
Okay.
between California, Texas, Florida, Ohio, and Georgia. Those are the best places I think to play.
I don't even think it's debatable outside of those 5.
No.
Okay, let's talk a little baseball for a minute. So baseball, we got to talk about the World Series. I mean, talk about a disappointment for those Mariners. But you got the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Can the Dodgers literally be stopped? Like, is this going to be a 4-game sweep? And is that actually what you want?
I genuinely think the Blue Jays have the best chance out of all of the teams in the AL. They've spent the most money. They have the best talent.
They have star power too.
They've got a lot, and their pitching's pretty good. They've got young. I know Savage has been pitching really good in the postseason. I think he just made his 6th start in the ALCS, and I think it was like a 6-inning shutout. So it's going to be an entertaining series, but I think the Dodgers might be inevitable. I think there's a reason they have spent this
much. It also
much.
really sucks that it is a West Coast.
Yeah, all of our games.
All of our games are going to start. They're all going to start at 9, 10.
Yeah.
But the Toronto Blue Jays are East Coast. Yeah.
Are they? But what time zone are they? Are they?
Yeah. They're in Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
never
Eastern.
mind. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Seattle would have been the worst. That's right. Seattle. Canadian. I mean, Drake will be happy.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
I'll stand on it of what I've said. I hope the Dodgers win. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think the Blue Jays will get at least 1 or 2.
But if it is a sweep,
if it is, that just kind of makes my argument a little bit stronger.
Did they sweep the Yankees last year?
So if I told you the number was 5 over under for a 5-game series, are you going
in the World Series?
Or no, 6? Are you going over or under?
I'm going under.
I think they win in
under.
5.
Okay. I should say 5.5.
I think the Blue Jays probably win 1, and I think it probably goes 4-1.
Yeah,
probably.
To the Dodgers.
So let's bring it back to football, college football. So there's obviously parity in college football. 9 of the top 25 teams lost this last week.
Again.
Is this the new college football? Like, is this NIL college football now when you have that many ranked teams losing in 1 week? It's not the first time this year.
We got to get rid of the rankings because they clearly are. I mean, it's changing every single week. I don't think it matters who the number 1 team in the country is anymore. I think it's getting to be like the NFL. It's leveling out.
What it's turning into is how March Madness is, where you just got to get in.
Yeah,
you just got to get
into the playoffs.
Yeah, get into the playoffs and see how it goes.
I want to talk about that. That's actually my next question about getting in. So Georgia Tech. So they're ranked in the top 10 right now for the first time in the college football playoff era.
That's crazy.
Okay, the last time they were ranked this high, 2014, they were number 8. And before that, it was 1990. They were ranked number 2 when they won the Natty.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the highest they've ever been ranked. Do you think they've got a shot this year at the national championship?
So they have a shot. I wouldn't take it that
far. I really
far.
like Haynes King.
To get into the postseason, I think you cannot slip up another game.
No.
You have to, I think, win. If you slip up in a game, it'd be against Georgia. You either have to win or lose really close against Georgia.
You got to go 8 overtimes.
You cannot get blown out against Georgia because as soon as you get blown out, and then even if you make it to the ACC championship game, if you win the ACC obviously you're in.
Who would even be in the ACC championship game with Georgia
Probably
Tech?
Gonna be
Do you know,
Miami.
Jake? Miami.
It's going to be Miami.
Miami, Georgia Tech.
It's going to be Miami, Georgia Tech.
I mean, Clemson's dead in the water. FSU's dead in the water. I mean,
but my thing is you cannot, if you're going to slip up, you have to lose, not by in a shootout, a very close game against Georgia. And if you do lose against Georgia, you have to win the ACC.
Yep.
If you beat Georgia and then you lose the ACC championship, I still think you get in.
Forgot about Virginia. Virginia's 6-1.
That's the other team.
So I do think I wouldn't say championship, like national championship, but I would say to get into the playoffs, to have a spot, you've got to play Georgia very competitively. And if you don't win the ACC championship, you have to play that game very competitively as well, or else you're going to get left out. Yeah, but you're going to get left out, though, just because you're ACC.
You're going to get left out for a 2-loss
And
ACC
what we saw last year with
SEC team.
Yeah, so if they win the ACC, they're in no matter what.
Okay.
But if they lose to Georgia, then lose the ACC championship, then all of a sudden they're kind of in the same boat SMU was last year. They let SMU in, and it was like, should we have let them in? And we really probably shouldn't have because they kind of got destroyed when they were in. And then it just creates this of, well, this is what we did last year. Do we want to do the same, or do we want to throw an SEC team or another Big Ten team? So that is my take. You have to play Georgia competitive, if not win. And then if you do lose the ACC championship game, that Georgia game is going to mean a lot.
Yeah. Well, now that Mike Bobo has apparently moved away from the wide receiver screens, Georgia looks good again.
Yeah, see what happens
when wild when you throw the ball past the line of scrimmage.
When you don't run
they tried it. Oh, that first half he tried it. He tried it more than a few times.
They didn't do it the whole second half, though.
I think Kirby Smart might have had something to do with that, and he might have just, cut his balls off.
Gunnar Stockton looks good, though.
Like it was,
he looks good. He's making a lot of plays.
5 touchdowns.
He's putting the team on his back.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that.
I saw some pretty good memes, though, about how they said they finally let Drake May throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, too. And look what happened.
They figured out he's a deep ball passer.
He's spinning it. That's right.
Bang.
Okay, so speaking of, how the hell is Mike McDaniel still my fucking head coach? How the hell is that even possible right now?
Did you hear what he said, though? Tua's going to be the starting quarterback as long as he doesn't throw 10 interceptions this week. What he said, word for word, swear to God.
He's going to throw 9.
No. He said, we're not going to throw. He says, I can tell you one thing. We're not going to throw 10 interceptions. This guy's such an idiot.
Well, look, I think he's just, I don't know if he knows what to do. I think he's an
autopilot, dude. He's just, he's waiting to get fired. He's honestly hoping.
Yeah. He's waiting to get fired to get an offensive coordinating job for one of these teams. And then all of a sudden,
after what Teddy Bruschi said about him too, he went off on
everyone's. And
I just want to say that, this time last year, Tua was feeling high and mighty and decided to attack Brian Flores verbally and talking about how he was a terrible person for not wanting him at his quarterback position and how Brian Flores was outspoken about how Tua was the wrong guy. My God, Brian Flores, you are a genius. And every single draft report, scouting report that came out about Tua prior to his getting drafted, immaculate. Just immaculate. And it's just... That is the benchmark for getting paid $50 million a year. Apparently, you just got to be Tua. That's it. And apparently, I cannot believe the Miami Dolphins. I don't think anyone was necessarily optimistic about the Dolphins season going into the year. Just even if you weren't, impressed with their skill level, just the injuries. I mean, they went into their O-line was battered before they played a regular season game. The secondary, the writing was on the wall. But now it's just getting even worse that they have culture issues. And I'm sure we've got stories that AJ probably can't tell us on here, but
I wish.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
So, Major League Baseball. I think they're in need of something. You tell me what they need more.
ABS.
Do they need a salary cap or a salary floor?
I think they need
We've
both.
Talked about this a lot.
We did. I think they need both, and I think they need the ABS, which is coming next
year. But should they have a minimum spend that if you want to be a major league team,
which is better,
you need to spend so much. Put a quality team on the field.
For what baseball is, do you think a floor would help more or a cap would help more?
That's what I want to know.
And I don't think you can go wrong. I mean,
I think a cap or a...
You can articulate an argument for each one. I like a floor but even that though, you'll just have owners spending the bare minimum.
I think it needs to be a cap, and that incentivizes teams to maximize their use every year because they know every team is working within the same confinements. And so it's the Dodgers only have a certain amount to spend. You have the same amount to spend. You might as well try and go for the same players and let the players decide where they want to play.
Yeah.
And so that, I think, probably the salary cap is the way to go. And the CBA is up, not this year. I think it's 28. I think we might not have an MLB season in 2028. I'm serious about that. It's going to take a long time because the players do not want a salary cap at all. I think the Phillies pretty much threw Manfred out of the locker room for talking about it.
Yeah.
And so it's going to get ugly. And baseball will be very different after that.
I would love to get a take of, I would love to talk to MLB players of what they truly think. Honestly, of why they don't think it'd be a good idea, why they think it might be. That would be an awesome conversation to have or to just hear. I think everyone would enjoy that. Yeah, it's hard.
I don't think any player would want to ever have a limit on their salary if you think about it from their standpoint.
But it's not that you're having a limit. It's you being if you're a great player, you would get paid, I think, what you're worth. You just can't stack a whole team and roster full of that the way the NFL is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
they do have. I mean, baseball rosters are big. They've got like 42.
There's a huge. I mean, it's
roster.
a way different than like because you got the farm system, you got all that.
Yeah.
So it is a different dynamic than like the the NFL is.
Yeah.
But there, I mean, if you're a good player, you will get your money. It just will be and look a little bit different when it comes to how the teams are structured.
Yeah.
Okay, last one, guys. So let's bring it back. Let's finish up with the local team, the Falcons.
Oh.
So this is interesting because, they're hot one week, they're cold the next.
Yeah.
Listening to sports radio, is it the defense? Is it the offense?
No.
Is it Penix?
No.
Or is it Zach Robinson, the OC?
Yes.
What do you think the problem is with this team?
Defense is ranked first in the NFL
the defense
going into their last game on Sunday
defense
night.
is really good.
So defense is fine. They've been, I think, they were the worry going into the year of what was the defense going to look like. Because the offense looked great last year at times and had all the playmakers and have everything. Yeah, the playmaking's, and I know they continue to complain about the pistol, and it's like, well, you can't complain about it if it works. So when it works, you can't cheer it on, and then when it doesn't work, we need
the pistol for the entire game is a little. Like, I know it's obviously not the only formation they run, but it's like, it's a lot. The play calling, Cullen has been pretty outspoken about it, and I'm guessing we probably won't have him on today, unfortunately, because they lost. But
the MVP Michael Penix speech.
MVP Michael Penix can wait a week. But yeah, man, I've got to point at the play calling. And I think, it's not the defense. You've got the playmakers. I mean, Bijan.
100%.
Pitts honestly had a pretty decent game on Sunday.
Pitts has been having a good season. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, he's been playing good. Play calling I think is the one thing. And obviously we're only halfway through the season, so a lot can change, and maybe they'll take that game as kind of emphasis to improve or change moving forward. But we shall see. I think it's still the Bucs division. Regardless, I think the Bucs, even though they lost on Sunday or last night, it'll be interesting to see the end of the season, though.
I agree.
All right, guys, that's all I got.
Nice job.
Yes, sir. That was 4th and long.
To go into week 8, we don't have as many games to pick this week because we don't have a London game and there's not a double header on Monday night, so a little bit less there. But to kick it off, first game, Vikings Chargers, just to kind of run down the list of some of the ones that we highlighted. The Chargers, I think, got to get it. I mean, they started off so hot. I know they've been hit with injuries on the O-line and everything, but they've spit. And with a Vikings team, with a Vikings team coming in, the offense isn't playing the best. Their defense is good. Chargers, you got to put it together, especially with how the Chiefs are playing, how the Broncos are playing in that division. If you lose this one, you've really, really put yourself behind after starting 3-0 on the year.
Yeah, and it's in a division that you cannot afford to lose games in. The Broncos and the Chiefs the Broncos are ahead of you now, and the Chiefs are right behind you. I mean, you have a game up on them just because you beat them week 1, but my God. And you cannot lose this game. And it's going to be a very tough game. And Brian Flores, great defensive play caller. Like you said, Chargers O-line is injured. I think Vikings have plenty of playmakers on both sides of the ball. This is one of the better matchups. I mean, prime time this year has been awesome. Yeah. Like, I do not have many complaints outside of last night's games at all. It's been very good.
The London game with the Jets wasn't the best.
I don't really count those as prime time, I guess. We do pick them, but those games suck most of the time. We send our, outside of the Sunday game, which was good in the end, we do send, the Browns, the Jets, the Jaguars.
Well, the Dolphins are playing in Germany in a couple of weeks.
Spain, actually.
Yeah.
But the Germany game, that's honestly the one, Falcons Colts, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be up at 8:30 getting ready to watch that game. But yeah, I think we are picking it. I'm going to take the Chargers.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think the Vikings, their defense is too good. Chargers are too banged up. I think, Justin Jefferson, they'll be able to do enough. I know they're away, but I like the Vikings.
Yep.
Next one, we'll go into yours. We've kind of already touched on it a little bit, but the Bears, Ravens. Don't know if Lamar's going to play. Vegas with the spread, I think they're assuming that he is going to play, so you kind of have to, go into game planning that. I think this could be, I know Roquan Smith is coming back for the Ravens too. He's practicing, so they're getting back some of that, those players that they've spent all this money on that haven't been playing the past couple weeks. I like the Bears, though, in the simple fact if they can run the ball, if they can figure out passing the ball. The Ravens haven't looked the best. If they can handle and contain Lamar, especially him not playing the past couple weeks, I will say I like the Bears in this one.
If our secondary is healthier, I know Tyreek left with a shoulder injury, and we had, obviously Jalen Johnson's out. We had Terrell Smith and backup corner out for the year, and so I think I'm fine if we lose, but don't get blown out. Don't give me reason to doubt moving forward. If you guys lose by a touchdown or 3 and you had a chance at the end, fine. But the Ravens are going to be playing probably their best football. They're already 1-5. They've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
It's
Lamar
bad.
coming back.
They're going to put it all on the table. And defense is playing great, and we need to take advantage of the Ravens' piss-poor defense to find some rhythm in the passing game. This will be the game to do it because you'll be able to run the ball, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Next one, my team, yes. Browns at the Patriots.
It's a really good defense.
Really good defense, like we kind of mentioned. It's going to be a great test against Myles Garrett. It would be a great, for Will Campbell because he hasn't let up a sack since week 1.
Yep, I saw that.
So it's going to be a great test for him personally against arguably the best pass rusher in the league in Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Just continue to do what you're doing. Run the ball. Don't turn over the ball. Drake May, make the throws you need to make. Run when you need to. Play good defense against a really bad team when it comes to the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
And you're at home after being away for 3 weeks. This is a game, again, you need to win.
Get to 6-1 or 6-2.
It'd be 6-2.
That's crazy.
This is a game you need to win, and it's a good test against a great defense. So
Patriots
I'm
are almost at
excited.
their
We're
win
getting closer to Dawson buying that jersey.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we absolutely are.
Next one, this one could be a very high-scoring game.
I'm excited.
Cowboys at the Broncos.
It's a good game.
Dak Prescott, they've been able to run the ball great with Williams, but
offense in general is really good.
Their offense is really good, and it's been like this.
And their defense is really bad.
Their defense is really bad, yes, and which is causing them to have to score a lot of points and keep up with the teams that they're playing.
They ran into a really injured Washington team on Sunday, so the defense played a good game, but it's when
do you think the altitude will hurt the Cowboys a little bit because they're at a mile high?
It just means they can throw the ball even further
Yeah.
down the field to George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb. This offense is, I think, everything of what everyone thought it was going to be with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Maybe not so much the run game as it's been fairly decent to get some of those play action, deep crossing routes that they love to run with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I don't think the Broncos are going to let, kind of what happened to them again, where they're not scoring any points till the fourth quarter. I don't think it will be that. This one is circled for me. A lot of points, betting purposes.
I think it's the Fox game of the week too.
I wouldn't be
surprised. Wouldn't
be surprised.
It's the 4:00 game.
Next one, Packers, Steelers. This is what you got. Aaron Rodgers. It maybe not as so much of a homecoming because it's in Pittsburgh, not in Lambeau. But this is another one, kind of what we saw with Rodgers at the beginning of the year, of how he had a little extra motivation against the Jets, and he put up really good numbers. This could be another one to where he's got a little bit extra motivation against the Packers.
Give me the Steelers. I think this is Packers on prime time. I think it's going to be a really good game. And Micah Parsons was a monster on Sunday. His stat line was ridiculous. I think he had 10 pressures.
He did. He had three sacks.
3 sacks, 10 pressures. I think he had a forced fumble. A few tackles for loss. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think, Aaron Rodgers is here to prove a point. And it's going to happen.
I think he's going to go in with a little extra motivation, the same way he did with the Jets, and probably going to end up with a win.
Yep. And this next game, I think the Sunday or Monday night game, on paper it would have been great, but the Commanders are just so hurt on both sides of the ball now. Old roster. Sorry, Washington. It's not looking great. So
Jaden Daniels, I don't even know if he's going to play.
He probably won't.
Yeah, this is just going to be another glorify the Chiefs. Mahomes will have 3-4 touchdowns, 250 yards.
Did you see how long the program stayed on the Chiefs game after that game?
You know it's
Honestly,
bad
no.
even when Jerry Twig. When
he
Jerry
called it
pointed
out.
that out. You see that text?
I
on
saw
Sunday?
the text. I didn't.
Jerry sent
know
a
what he was
text
talking
out.
about,
And he was so apparently after the Chiefs game, they won 31-0.
Why didn't they roll to another game?
Instead of going to a different game, they did like a 20-minute segment
Serenade to the Chiefs.
About
Yeah, interviewing
Chiefs.
every player, talking to everybody, and it was like they don't do that for any other team.
There were other games that they could have flipped to. No.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
Oh man. You know it's bad when your own fans are like, what the hell?
That was weird,
That
but
was
cool.
weird. That was really strange. It's okay.
Oh,
Whatever.
We already picked it Thursday night this week. Vikings Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
The Chargers.
Dylan's going with the Chargers. Big noon kickoff. We got UCLA against number 2 Indiana.
Indiana's number 2.
UCLA's offensive play caller. Everyone's seen him. The blonde-haired
blonde guy.
kid that looks like he could be flipping burgers
He's
at McDonald's. He's awesome. I'm not going to go against, I think Indiana's
No,
been
not
playing pretty
either.
good at home.
Yeah.
I'll go Indiana with this one. But
quarterback.
UCLA has been a lot of fun to watch.
This is Fernando, right? Am I getting that? Indiana's quarterback?
I'm not sure.
Am I getting
I
that
can't-
right?
I can't remember
Shit.
exactly. And they also just signed their head coach to a huge new
Yeah,
extension.
Signetti.
So
It's like a
yeah,
9-year
I'll-
deal.
I'll take Indiana, big noon kickoff.
Yeah.
College game day.
Same
Jake said, "What? This is the first time it's going to Vanderbilt, or am I wrong on that? Long time.
Were they
first-
not there for? Oh no, Vanderbilt
was
beat
at Alabama.
Yeah.
How great is it to see Vanderbilt be significant now?
I think it's really cool.
First
I
time
think
in a long time that
This is-
college game day has been at Vanderbilt, but number 15 Missouri is coming in. I'm going to go Vanderbilt. I like their quarterback, even though I think he's just
Pavia. Dude, he's
some-
Johnny Football 2.0.
You also
dude.
see he's trying to get another year.
He's been in
of
college like
eligibility.
14 years.
Is he really?
He's trying to get another year.
Why,
How many
dude?
years has he
Ride the
been in
high.
for real?
You've had 2 pretty damn good seasons of college
And
football.
at this
Why
rate,
would
you'd
not?
probably be a top 5 pick somewhere.
I view him as like a Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Take him and make him a gadget guy.
Yeah.
I think
he's
Miami
really
needs a
athletic.
quarterback.
Hey, I mean,
We might have
At
the
this
number
point,
one
you
pick.
guys should just use all your picks on quarterback.
just take Caden Proctor, number 1 overall, and reset the O line.
There you go.
But
I agree.
That
I'm
dude
gonna-
just can't miss.
I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt here. I like Vanderbilt.
Me
They're
too.
at home. Haven't been in college game day in a long time, so
Yeah,
I'll give
give me
them that.
Vandy.
I like
Give me
Vandy.
Vandy.
Next one, Sunday Night Football,
Both pick the
Packers,
Steelers.
Steelers. Kind of mentioned this one. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I like Rodgers at home against his old team. I think it could be really close because I know the Packers can put up a lot of points. They've got a lot of weapons. The Steelers defense, like we kind of saw,
Yep.
they can just, I mean, you saw what they did with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and in company of last week. But I like the Steelers. I like Aaron Rodgers kind of playing that revenge game that he's always been really good at. He'll
Yep.
bring an extra moxie to him. So give me the Steelers at home Sunday night.
How
Give
has his
me
career
not-
been with Micah Parsons, though? Like when they played the Cowboys, did he ever give him trouble? Was there any overlap there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
there's been
I
any
think
overlap.
Micah came into the league like right as soon as he was kind of
Well, no.
out
Okay.
and going.
They
with-
played once, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
There's not a ton of
non-factor.
history there. No.
There's really
Yeah, because
not.
he's coming off a huge game.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and then Commanders at Chiefs. I think it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going
The
with
Chiefs
Chiefs.
are once again very scary. I don't know what the hell happened that Jaguars week, but that's just not the team that they're supposed to be, and that's not the team they are compared to pretty much most of the other weeks. I know, they just came off a win against the Raiders, but I don't know. They've been a really good team for the last 6 or 7 years. But I do think if the Commanders were healthy, this would be a great game.
Yeah.
And you'd have an argument for either team. But sorry.
Chiefs at home Monday night.
This is not what the NFL wanted when they scheduled this last year.
No.
This is not what the NFL wanted at all.
No.
No,
Or
I got the
this
Chiefs
year.
in this one as well.
Yep.
To wrap up today's episode, like we always do, our little betting section. Before we get into the cut bet of the week, we have our player props.
Yes.
I'm kind of doing this on the spot because it is early in the week, but I'm going to go with Dak Prescott passing yards. I like him
Against
against
Denver.
I like him against Denver. I like CeeDee Lamb.
yeah.
Even if they get behind, all they do is pass the ball. If it wasn't for them completely blowing Washington, he would have had 300 plus
Probably.
to where they stopped passing last week. So I like Dak Prescott over. I don't know the exact number. If I had to guess, I'll probably around 260, 266, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yep.
Give me the over on the passing yards on Dak.
So the Falcons play the Dolphins this week, and we were supposed to go to this game, but the Dolphins have since taken themselves out of contention before week.
I can't bring myself to go to this game.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't blame
for what we would have paid for being on section 1. Whatever.
I'm not. Yeah, because Anna's like, you got to go, you got to go. I'm like, I'm not going to spend a dime to go watch our team. And as pathetic as we are, I'm just not going to do it.
Yep. My point is that, Chris, you can watch from your couch and put a fat 6-leg down on Falcons players and hit the shit out of it.
Hey, at least it'll.
Bijan Robinson,
you just reminded me. It'll be on TV, seeing that it's local, because we always have to watch the damn Falcons. So this will be good. At least I can see him play.
84.5 rushing yards, probably cashes it in the first half.
Maybe one run. I'm just kidding.
Probably. No, he could. He's gotten close. He's gotten close.
Yeah, I like that. That was when I was going through the games, I was like, I might go Bijan. And then I saw you did. I was like, well,
yeah, but what did the 49ers do to him? How were they able to contain him?
49ers are just a good
Their
team.
Linebackers had a really good game plan.
It was for Fred Warner. They played for Fred.
Yeah, and the 49ers, I think, have a great coaching staff. So
okay.
They do. Dolphins are winning that game. If the Dolphins win
Jake
that game,
called it. Jake's got the Dolphins.
Cullen is coming on the show next week. You're hearing it here first. Funny. If the Dolphins win next week,
let's bring Cullen in.
Let's
have some fun.
And we're going to put Chris in the Merino
if we somehow win. Because if we could win a game, it could be this one.
It could be. Oh, that'd be
really funny. It'd be a Falcons thing to do. Beating the Bills on Sunday night or Monday night, and then losing Sunday night to the banged up 49ers, and then losing to the Dolphins at 1 o'clock at home.
God,
that'd be really
Jesus Christ. Yeah. To cap it off, our cut bet of the week.
Going for 4 in a row.
Oh, going for 4 in a row. And as I said earlier, this episode is sponsored by CutBet. But in case you're not familiar, CutBet is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that allows its users to wager directly with other users on any publicly verifiable result in sports, entertainment, politics, and more. Cut users set the terms of any wager they make, and the possibilities are endless. Stop talking and start competing against your friends or us and other users to prove who really knows what they're talking about. And this week, I didn't want to take any of the spreads just because a lot of them were... You got a lot of weird games. Some could go either way, and they haven't been really outlandish numbers compared to like Raiders plus 12 or I don't remember what the one. Oh, the Bengals. The Bengals plus 14 as well. So Bills Panthers over 46.5 points. I do think that the Bills do not have the best defense, so the Panthers will be able to score, and I think inherently that's going to mean the Bills are going to have to score. So it's going to go over. I think it probably finishes like 31-27. So I think the Panthers got a good team. They're on a 3-game winning streak too, I think.
And the Panthers, the Bills are kind of coming off a couple performances that I think they're a little embarrassed about. Bye week, healthy, they're going to come out and want to put
Where's the game at?
Ooh.
Because that matters. Because the Panthers are undefeated at home.
Bryce Young also isn't
in
playing.
Carolina.
Oh, boy.
Bryce Young's not playing. Oh, man. Well, look at it either way.
I still like it though. I like an angry.
Well, the
Bills
Bills'
team.
rush defense is terrible. So like the Panthers got.
I know we're not picking the winner. We're just picking the over. However,
take the over. I think take the over.
I like the over on this. I do. And I think the Bills are going to come out, want to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Bills also run defense is terrible. Look what Rico Dowd, look what Chuba Hubbard has kind of been doing for this team.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. Over.
Well, that will wrap up episode 61 of I75 Live. Thank you again. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, follow. If you have any questions, if you have any, thoughts on some of these games, always let us know. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Hell yeah. It's been real, guys.